to get on the same sheet of music. So
I'm a music teacher. Same sheet of music. I mean,
you caught it. I say that throughout all my meetings, and everyone's being polite. Nice. You're the only. I've always said it, and no one's caught it.
Nice. I'm an old garage band bassist, so I'm not a real musician at all. But,
Lord. Hush your face. Hush your face.
Look, we got a caller from Chicago, actually.
I'm from the suburbs of Chicago.
You're from the suburbs of Chicago. Well, there's
suburbs.
Chi-town. Renee, welcome to the show. Did you just hear that our guest, Dr. Anthony Marintek, is from the suburbs of Chicago?
I did. Which suburb?
Wheaton, Illinois.
Oh, really? That's a nice area.
She's what?
That's a nice area.
My dad taught, he was a Chicago school teacher. He taught at Whitney Young.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful. My father graduated from Whitney Young.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
I think she said they have running water in that community.
Say again?
Hello? I said, I'm calling in. I was listening to the conversation tonight, and I couldn't help but wonder. I think it's great. I think everyone's perspective is great. But I'm wondering, what does the future of learning for students and working from home for adults look like post-COVID? Will things go back to normal, or are we on the brink of some real change, like after the coronavirus is all over, after this pandemic ends? What do you guys think?
That's a good question. Doc, I'll let you have at it.
I think we're in some new territory that we might have some changes and have some discussion on teaching and learning. What I see, where I know with our district, our parents want our kids to go back to school in the elementary because it's really hard to do your job from home and then have small kids. Luckily for me, like I said, I've had kids in college, high school, middle school, and elementary. And my elementary daughter, she's in 5th grade. So, my high school son can come and he's at home as well. But I think we're in new territory where we call what's called Carnegie units. That means a student needs to be in a seat for a total amount of time. But we've had some, I don't want to say rogue principles because that's the wrong term, but innovative. Let me use that term. We've had some innovative principles because why should a student get an F if we're all about mastery of the standards? So I think we're in a new place where we're going to look at mastery and how we can collect the data. So we understand that the student is not cheating to get the grades, but how can we assess mastery without having the seat time? Because if you have a student sitting in class, okay, does the teacher have enough differentiated instruction to make sure that all students are showing academic growth? So I think we're looking into that more. I think the charter schools are more, they're ahead of us a little bit because we have some charter schools in Las Vegas. When COVID hit, they were fine because we're like, oh, we're doing blended learning, we're doing online learning. So I think as a public entity, we're going to have that conversation of how instruction looks because we've been doing it the same way since the early 1900s. So I think because of technology, we're going to change our instructional practice and instructional delivery as well.
And not to cut you off, Doc, Thin Bad, if you could shout the number out. We're getting some requests on the chat line for the call-in number as well.
443-413-8413.
Shout it out one more time.
443-413-8413.
And to your point, Doc, when you're talking about that whole learning environment, and I know after we do this, we'll probably go to break, so we'll pick it up after the break. How do you enforce discipline in a virtual environment?
That's a good question, because I've been asked that. Unfortunately, I got the heads up because I was hired to do a summer school for our district. So we had like a dry run, if you will, on virtual learning. And I and my fellow principal, we had a conversation with our students on Google Meet, so everybody was on, and we talked about expectations. We talk about, for example, the avatar students. You can't have any, even though marijuana is legal in Las Vegas, it's not professional. You want to be academically and professional ready at all times. So you can't have inappropriate avatars on your email. When we're in the virtual environment, there's no dress code, but make sure that students that you have a shirt on, okay? And we've seen on the news or on YouTube something that's funny where a teacher is giving instruction and then something inappropriately might happen behind. So, I talked to my teachers today. You can teach remotely, and that's fine virtually because, we don't have a choice. But the thing is, make sure that your background is conducive of a learning environment. Obviously, we might have a teacher that their Wi-Fi is better in the kitchen, and you might have a nice wine rack in the background. That's not appropriate for school, but make sure you have something that anybody can see.
Sure. Well, Dr. Marintek, you are really dropping some nuggets on us this evening, and we just appreciate that. And I know yes, sir.
We got another caller. Dr. Marintek is going to want to hear this caller.
Okay, we'll take the.
You want to go to break, or you want to what? You want to go to break first?
Why don't we tell the caller to hold? We're going to go to break, and then ask the caller if they can hold for us.
Are you able to?
Can they do that? If they can hold for us. If not, we'll bring them on right now. We'll wait for the verdict then, Bab.
Bring you on right now. Hold on. How about I bring you on now?
Okay, let's bring them on.
I'm bring them on. I'm gonna bring them on. I don't want to take a chance and lose. See, this is the beauty of.
That's right.
Nobody has to pay for this car.
That's right.
We can make this thing run.
Hey, Doc, before you bring the caller on, do you ever get that call from a parent? You can hear him in the background talking about, Junior, bring your ass down for our do you get that? What the hell, Junior?
I had to
bring your boy. Don't. Do you get that?
I had to talk virtually before summer school. This young man, bless his heart, his parents had some gangster rap music on in the background, and I happened to observe the class. I'm like, just put it on mute. I mean, you can't control where you're at because you're a child.
I'm sorry. I had to ask that for the caller. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Bring your call in, then, Bad. We'll let the doc finish that story for us.
You got folks calling. Doc. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, caller, you are on the air. Caller? Did I lose him?
Through the magic of television and radio.
Did I lose him? Let me try to call him back. See, it was all your fault, Chief. You went in there and got gangster rap on him. No.
I just had to know because I know the rumor is that a lot of the young people who are being taught at home. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Hello. Caller.
Hello. How you doing?
Good.
I was telling them I came in on the right conversation as far as discipline, especially with Dr. Marintek. He's been around in Vegas for a long time, and his style of discipline, especially for the African American male, is different from your average Joe that comes in and do this or else type of thing. He was my ninth grade teacher. I was 14. I'm now 31. my mentor. So he pushed me. You know, I was one of those kids getting expelled from school, getting kicked out. Definitely wasn't thinking that was going to make it to even graduate. And so me watching him when he went and got his doctorate, I had a bachelor's, and I said, you know what? I don't know. I've been wanting to go to school. And talking to him, he's like, go back, do it. We need you. You need to do this, do that. And I'm one class away from my master's now. So I just wanted to get on really to give him a shout out. Even though he does it, I argue with the girls in class. We was classing every day. So he would always stop the class and say, everybody just wait. Just let's listen to him. They love each other. They like each other so much. But then I'm mad at him. So now I'm pissed off at him. I want to walk out the classroom because I can't stand her. And now he's making everybody think we like each other. So that his way of doing it made me and her stop arguing because we want nobody else in the class be like, "Ooh, y'all like each other." So, you know, I mean, he could have kicked us out. He could have told us, you know, go to Dean, get us in trouble, but he never did that. So he's, like I said, he's been a mentor. I love his kids. He has a great wife. He's just all around good person. He shows that he's one of the true, somebody that inspires us truly out here. You know, it's a lot of guys that are African American that I'm just going to be blunt. It's straightforward, that they forget where they come from. They forget that their mother is African American and their father is African American, that their family, their sisters and their nephews and nieces are African American, and they don't look out for you. They don't guide you. They don't lead you. And with what's going on in today's society, it's important to have a strong black male that not only demonstrates it in the education field, but also in the family field to teach you how to be a man, how to have a family and provide, how to do this. If you don't get it nowadays, kids are out worried about a lot of other things. So him pushing me to do my master's and master's of education and leadership, you know, and I won't say I'm following him, but those are some footsteps and some shoes that we need in education even now. So even virtually, if you have someone that you connected with before we went on the virtual aspect of education, and then you see them tuning in and still talking to you, you have something to look forward to log on to for class. You'll have something to look forward to log on to say, hey, Dr. Morinti's going to be in class today. Let's go. You know he's funny. You know he's crazy. Let's get on the log on. So all the while, they think they just get on here and laugh, but he's also teaching them during that time, too. So I just wanted to give a shout-out to the podcast for having my mentor, Dr. Morinti, online, and you keep doing a good job.
Thank you.
That's why you do it. And that's why you do it.
Yes, sir. I love it. Love it.
Thank you.
Well, Dr. Marintek, I don't know how to follow that up. That's very impressive. But in all seriousness, you know, the work that you've been doing over the years speaks for itself, and that's why we were so happy to have you here. So, what we're going to do, Carl, is we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with the world-renowned, the international educator, Dr. Anthony Marintek from the South Academic Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. And if you want to call us again, it's 443-413-8413. It's 443-413-8413. We'd love to hear from you. And in the meantime, we're going to go to break, and we'll see you right after the break.
Chaser Talk Radio. Other shows water down the issues. We only serve the hard stuff.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
It's because of that historical trauma that goes back so many generations.
Or even a fundamental form of racial justice.
We are tired. Guys, we're tired. And we are frustrated.
And racism.
This is a critical time for us.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. Anyone else?
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So do your part and stay home. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit social gatherings. If you need essential items like food and medicine, try using a delivery service. If you must leave your house for essential items, or if you want to take a walk for exercise, make sure to wear a cloth face covering. Stay at least 6 feet away from other people. Try not to touch frequently touched surfaces like light signals, street signs, or benches. And wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds as often as possible. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults.